You're listening to the very first episode of RPEC On Air, a podcast produced by the Retired Public Employees Council of Washington. I'm your host, Alyssa Brady, and today we're just going to do a brief introduction of the podcast, and I have a very special guest with me here today. This is RPEC Treasurer Johanna Standish. Thanks, Johanna, for joining. I'm glad. I know it was short notice. I just kind of pulled you in like, hey, do you want to record something?
Well, I think it's a wonderful thing myself. This is a first for me and kind of an adventure. So thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hey, me too. It's new for all of us. I'm excited to have you as our first guest. So Johanna, tell us just a little bit about your role with RPEC and maybe a little bit about your where you retired from or some of your employment history.
Sure. I presently am the council treasurer for RPEC, and it's a job that I had done once before, and it's very interesting and also a busy job, but it's a remarkably rewarding thing to do. So if I can, I would encourage listeners, if they're at all interested in leadership positions, that this might be a really good organization to work with in any capacity at your chapter level or at the council level. So I was asked a little bit about my past, and my past is that I started at age 19 with the Employment Security Department and retired at 55. And I've had a wonderful career, very beneficial to me, but helpful with RPEC, because RPEC is still working to try to return the 3% COLA that we had previously. Well, that's really the bulk of it. I did have the pleasure of working with Employment Security during the time that WFSE actually filed a lawsuit to make comparable worth for women working for the agency who were being paid less for doing the same job that men were doing. Yeah. So it was, I experienced that, and believe me, the additional money in the paycheck helped with raising 2 sons.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's amazing. You all saw a lot of progress in the social justice movement, and we're still seeing that. It never stops. But that's right. I mean, you were involved in some very revolutionary things and changes. That's awesome. And you're also, in addition to being the RPEC treasurer, you are the president of Chapter 18 in Grays Harbor County. So you're very busy.
Yes, I am very busy. And the chapter is dear to my heart. Mm-hmm. The members are wonderful. We have a good time together, and we still get things done. It isn't all horseplay.
Yeah.
But I have wonderful members and wonderful support in people serving as officers. And we try to do things, we're trying to get better at doing things that impact the community, the senior community in Grays Harbor positively. So.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a great thing that, chapters can do on the local level, is engaging with the community. And it's important, for those of us who have privileges to be able to recognize and acknowledge those and see how we can use our privilege as a blanket to, protect those who don't have it. So that's wonderful. So Johanna, how familiar are you with podcasts? Do you have some favorites that you listen to?
Well, I have a couple of political favorites that I listen to, but the most interesting and engaging program is Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Oh, I've heard of this one. Okay, that's familiar.
It's an NPR broadcast, and it's very funny and challenging. They ask questions of people they don't know and people they do know. And the outcome is often very amusing. So,
yeah. Okay.
I really enjoy that.
I'll have to check that one out. I recognize the title. I've listened to improv comedy podcasts, and that's actually how I got into improv, but that's something else. And true crime is kind of a big one. There's one I listened to called Swindled, and it's white collar crime mostly, and it's very, very fascinating, just like these crazy stories. Really good journalism, but we're not sponsoring these podcasts, but just saying that's kind of what we enjoy. So is this your first time being a guest on a podcast?
Yes, it is.
I love that. That's great. Congratulations. It's my first time hosting a podcast. So RPEC On Air is another way that we are engaging people, engaging our members, but also people outside of RPEC. We are going to have guests who are experts on a lot of the topics that we will cover: labor, healthcare. We'll have legislators as guests, and sometimes staff, and we're going to feature members and let members tell their stories. I think that's very important. And
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, we want to hear from you all. So please, if you are an RPEC member, if you have any comments, suggestions, any feedback about the podcast, maybe you have a story you'd like to tell, maybe you're interested in being a guest, reach out to us. The email is podcast@rpecwa.org. So Johanna, thank you so much for joining. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
I encourage people to stay involved after retiring in something that they are passionate about, or something. It doesn't have to be legislative. It could be gold mining.
Yeah, that.
Whatever feels interesting and motivating and fun for you.
Yeah.
Stay doing things and thinking things, and life will be so much better for us all.
Yeah. We all need a sense of purpose.
Absolutely.
And we find that in a variety of different ways. Thank you, Johanna. I really appreciate you joining. Again, I know it was really short notice to just be like, hey, would you like to be a guest on the podcast? But I'm really glad it worked out.
Absolutely.
So thank you, and thank you all for tuning in to RPEC On Air. We will talk to you next time.
Thank you.
Oh, you can sit back down. Yeah, no, I'm not done with you, Johanna. I want you here for this.
Okay.
Come back. Our first guest tried to leave early. In the middle of recording, no less.
Yeah, okay.
No, you're fine.